Please welcome the president of the new school, David Van Zandt.
Well, we're finally here. Class of 2019, welcome to your graduation. Sounds like we're all ready to go. Leading us in today as our commencement marshal is Professor Emerita Pamela Klein. Professor Klein recently retired after 34 years at Parsons. Thank you. Our commencement ceremony today is extra special because we're celebrating the new school's centennial. It's a time to reflect on our past, look forward to our future, and reaffirm that we stand for a university as dedicated to new ways of thinking, new modes of research and creative expression, and new ways of solving problems. So to everyone gathered here today, and to those of you who are joining us via live stream, welcome. For those of you on social media, which I know is almost everybody here, please share your congratulations and excitement with a hashtag #NewSchoolGrad. I also want to take a moment to send congratulations to the students and faculty at our Parsons Paris campus who graduated earlier today. Let me now introduce the platform party. Joining me on stage are Board of Trustees Chair Joseph Gromek and members of our Board of Trustees, the university deans and senior administrative leaders, our honorary degree recipients, from whom you'll hear in a few minutes, the remarkable New School faculty, leaders from our faculty and student senates, and our student presenters and performers. Also joining us on the platform today is Connor Davis. Yes, Connor. Connor is from California, and today he's receiving his BFA in fashion design. Let me tell you a little bit about him. In the summer of 2014, Connor was a rising senior when a serious accident left him mostly paralyzed. Even as he has dealt with this extraordinarily difficult physical and emotional challenge, he has continued to pursue his goal of earning a Parsons degree, taking one class at a time remotely. His creative work is now focused on designing for others with physical disabilities. Connor's story is one of courage and resilience, and we are grateful to him for allowing us to share it today. Thank you, Connor. I know that every student graduating today has faced challenges. You all have drawn from reserves of energy and strength, found support structures, adapted, and stayed true to your goals and convictions. And here you are. Now turning our focus to the amazing group on the floor, in front of the graduating students, we have alumni delegates from the classes celebrating their 5th to 50th anniversaries, from the class of 1969 to the class of 2014. Also among our graduates today, some students are wearing black and red cords with their academic regalia. These cords symbolize their dedication as student leaders during their time at the new school. Other students are wearing red, white, and blue cords. These signify that they or their parents have served in the United States Armed Forces, and we thank them for their service. And to all of our graduates, let me say, we are proud of you, excited for you, and here to celebrate you. There'll be plenty of clapping today, but this next round of applause may be the most important one. Class of 2019, please stand, turn around, and applaud your family and friends who have supported you through your studies and are here for you today. Well, graduates, your decision to attend the new school says something very special about you. You sought a learning experience fueled by the intellectual and creative energy of New York City. You chose a university where academic freedom and tolerance have always prevailed. In deciding to admit you, we saw that you were creative and intellectually curious, and you wanted to make a difference in the world. During your time here, you have learned to use your creativity and scholarship to address complex issues and work towards positive social change. You have been part of an academic community working to confront the urgent issues of our time, such as climate change, social and economic inequality, and immigration policies. Please take that commitment and drive with you wherever you go. The new school is your university and always will be. You are not only part of the new school's past, but also part of its future. I urge you to stay connected to this community that has been such an important part of your lives as proud members of our growing alumni network. I know I will hear great things from the class of 2019 because I know that each and every one of you will make a difference in the world. To close with a quote from this very stadium's namesake, Arthur Ashe, "Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can." Thank you very much. We begin our ceremony with the presentation of the University Teaching Awards. Every year we honor our faculty at commencement because we know what a critical part they play in our students' success as teachers, mentors, and role models. I now invite Provost Marshall to lead the presentation of the awards.
Thank you, President Van Zandt. Indeed, the success of our students is a reflection on their teachers, the knowledge and skills they bring to the classroom, the tone they set for rigor and high standards, the care and values they model. I'm pleased to present this year's Distinguished Teaching Awards and the awards for outstanding achievements in diversity and social justice teaching. Now, these teachers were nominated by their students and their faculty peers, and so we have invited students to present the awards along with the deans. Will the faculty honorees and student presenters please join me? And the respective deans will join as their faculty are introduced. Miriam Powell.
Thank you. My name is Miriam Powell, and today I graduate with a degree in history from Eugene Lang College. It is my honor to present Professor Laura Palermo with the Distinguished Teaching Award. Professor Palermo is an inspiration to students across departments, encouraging engagement in a vast array of fields through her interdisciplinary courses on the history of science. She is also a phenomenal support to students in the history department. As our head of undergraduate studies, she has generously offered guidance and advice, helping us find direction in and beyond the university. Congratulations, Professor Palermo, on this much-deserved recognition of all you do for your students.
My name is Emma Feinblatt from Parsons School of Design, and I'm graduating today with a BBA in Strategic Design and Management. Our next Distinguished Teaching Award goes to someone I'm very proud to introduce, Professor Jeffrey Ryman. Any student who has had Professor Ryman can attest to his incredible ability to inspire others to put forth their best work. His experience in business management and consulting has left itself to a classroom structure that focuses primarily on student development and growth. Professor Ryman thinks of every assignment as a development piece, and he truly and deeply cares about seeing each and every one of his students achieve their own definition of success. Through his style of teaching, we're able to understand more about both our work and ourselves as individuals, receiving the utmost support from Professor Ryman throughout the journey. Thank you, Jeffrey, for all you have done for us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Anna Sophia Remis, and today I'm graduating with 2 degrees, a BFA in Design and Technology from Parsons and a BA in Environmental Studies from Lang. I'm very thrilled to be presenting the Distinguished Teaching Award to Professor Bhavani Venkataraman. If you've never met Bhavani, you should know that she's the most patient professor at the new school. So patient, in fact, she once sat down and spoke about climate change with Vinny from the Jersey Shore. Bhavani embodies all of the most profound values of our community in her research and in her mission to educate others on sustainability, energy, and the science behind them. We can all learn something from her ability to respond to students' fears and hopes in this energetically unstable world. Congratulations, Professor Venkataraman.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bennett Doneen, and I'm graduating with a Master's of Arts degree in International Affairs from the New School's GPIA. And I am beyond honored and delighted to be here today to introduce the Distinguished Teaching Award to the great and fantastic Mr. Gabriele Vignoli. Yeah. Having gained countless memories and stories from traveling with Gabrielle to Cuba with the International Field Program, I can say confidently that Gabrielle is by far the most intellectual, influential, and good-spirited human that I've yet to encounter. Yeah. And with that, one of my biggest lessons that you taught me is that there's never one or two sides to any story in history or in life, for that matter. And you taught me how to think and believe and learn in multiplicities. And I'm forever grateful for that, and I think your students are too. So thank you for taking care of your students' minds and your students on these travels, and thank you. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Sarah Murphy, and I'm graduating today with a degree in Interdisciplinary Science and Contemporary Music from Eugene Lang College of Liberal Arts. It is my honor and privilege to present the Award for Outstanding Achievement in Diversity and Social Justice Teaching to Katayun Chamini. Katayun is a professor that you could never even tempt to forget, not only because she is outspoken, intelligent, and an insightful mentor, but because she takes the time to get to know each one of us for our individual qualities and aspirations. The kind of care and dedication that Katayun has provided each and every one of her students could only be achieved by someone so deeply invested in their field of study, the success of those she teaches, and an unbreakable, untiring, unimaginably compassionate spirit. She pushes boundaries and then breaks those barriers, bringing along those who haven't learned to use their voices, giving them not only a platform, but a microphone and the confidence to speak their truth clearly and proudly. Thank you, Katoon, and congratulations.
Congratulations to all our faculty winners. We will now present the honorary degrees. At the New School, we confer honorary degrees to individuals whose life and work exemplify bold creativity, courage, engagement with critical issues, and positive social impact. Chairman Gromek and Provost Marshall will join me to present the honorary degrees. Following the presentation of the degrees, each candidate will address our graduates.
Robert Mondine, please come forward. You have had a distinguished law career and an extraordinary record of service to education and civic and cultural life. In every role, you have demonstrated a firm commitment to integrity and ethics, professional and corporate responsibility, and principles of governance. Deeply committed to education, you have influenced countless students as a law professor and a dean. Yet your proudest professional moment came while you were serving as the General Counsel to the US Treasury Department in 1980 and early 1981. You played a major role in negotiating the release of 52 Americans who were being held hostage in Iran. Few people have the chance to play such a direct and important part in securing others' freedom. Yourself, a refugee from Nazi Europe, you have a special connection to the New School's historic period as the university in exile, a safe haven for European scholars fleeing oppression. For many years, the university has benefited from your wisdom and steadfast support as a trustee and a member of the Board of Governors of the New School for Social Research. Many other educational and civic organizations have also benefited from your leadership. Among the many ways in which your contributions have been recognized, you received Germany's highest individual honor, the Officer's Cross of the Order of Merit, in part recognizing your time as the president of the American Academy in Berlin. We are proud to bestow upon you today the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Step over to the right, get a photo first. So I have to give you the degree too. That's the important part.
Thank you very, very much. I must say that when I was first asked would I come to the Ash Stadium, that I was being asked to play a little tennis with the provost and have a chance to show off my backhand. But I'm enormously pleased and proud and grateful to receive this honorary degree. It is particularly meaningful to me to be recognized by the New School, the home of the university in exile. This university was a refuge for Jewish scholars in the 1930s. And I'm very proud to be connected to a university that continues to provide support to oppressed, at-risk scholars from around the world and seeks to broaden that support by organizing a consortium of concerned universities. As the provost indicated, I am a refugee who arrived in New York from Hamburg in January 1939, a frightened 5-year-old. I was lucky to be allowed to come to the United States. My similarly aged cousins were not so lucky, and they and their mother were gassed to death in a concentration camp. I was lucky to come to a country which gave me, the child of not particularly wealthy or particularly socially connected parents, every opportunity to develop and achieve. What a blessing that is. And I think about the many people today who are threatened, oppressed, or severely disadvantaged, and look to the United States as a land of hope and opportunity. We must all remember that this is a country of immigrants. Now, some of you, as have a number of my friends, wondered why, in the light of my history, was I willing to spend 6 years as the pro bono president of the American Academy in Berlin, in Germany. The American Academy sees itself as fostering dialogue among individual Germans and Americans. And I try not to think of categories of people, Germans or whatever, but I try and think it's worthwhile that we deal with each other and value each other as individuals. And I think that's a very important part of the New School philosophy. Now, as I look out at the graduating class ready to go out and make a difference in the world, I sense you're thinking, how can I be sure that I can do that? How do I plot out my path? Now, I have to tell you that other than knowing that I wanted to go to law school, very little of my life has been planned. I would say serendipity has been the key to my life story. I did get one critically important lesson from my parents that makes serendipity work, and that is, do your best at whatever you're doing at the moment, because that will be the record on which you will be judged and a basis for the choices you will receive. Your hard and often challenging work in making it to graduation today is part of the record you have built as you look to the future. And as you go forth after graduation, a variety of chances will come, and you will want to be open to considering them, and perhaps take the risk that you may fail, but nevertheless say, I'm going to take that opportunity. Let me tell you a little story. I remember when I was recommended by the chair of the SEC to the White House for appointment as an SEC commissioner. I had taught securities regulation, worked at the SEC as a staff member, and thought I was pretty well qualified for the position. And I was very disappointed not to be selected. But blind fortune once again intervened. A few weeks after that disappointing news, I received a call from the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury asking if I would be interested in being the General Counsel of the Treasury. That was a much broader job, as it turned out, than the SEC Commission. It covered at that time customs, domestic and international finance, tax, the Secret Service, anti-dumping and countervailing duties, and more. And for much of those areas, I really had no or very little experience. In addition, for a person who had only managed himself, I would have 1,100 lawyers for whom I was responsible. It was daunting, it was risky, challenging, but ultimately hugely rewarding. Although at the beginning I wondered, can I really do that job? I discovered I could if, one, I spent a lot of time asking questions and listening. Not hearing, listening. Two, make honest judgments about people. Three, recognize that it was not about me, but about a group of people working together to craft policies and to implement them. It was a great job, hugely expanded my horizons, and I was lucky to get the opportunity. You live in a time of significant disruptive forces, climate change, the ever-enhancing artificial intelligence, to name just two. They're going to create a lot of opportunities on which you can have significant impact, and they can be fulfilling and sometimes frustrating. Your education at the New School should provide a solid base from which you can successfully take on those opportunities. A great adventure lies ahead of you, and I wish you lots of luck in the opportunities which will surely come your way.
Tarana Burke, please come forward. You have devoted your professional and public life to promoting healing, fostering unity, and fighting for justice. Your dedication to helping others has been evident since your earliest days organizing cultural programs for underserved youth in Selma, Alabama. Later, you began working with survivors of sexual violence, helping them to reclaim their dignity and power. Part of the solution was giving them a voice. Me too. With these words, you ignited a movement. With these words, you showed survivors they were not alone. With these words, you helped them find the courage to speak out about what had been unspeakable. And with these words, you put perpetrators on notice. No longer would sexual violence and abuse of power be protected by secrecy and shame. #MeToo sparked an outpouring of stories from around the world and has led to a re-examination of laws, systems, and cultural norms that have kept survivors silent. Along with receiving wide recognition and support for this work, you also face backlash and even threats, but you have persevered. It is our honor to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
I bring you greetings from the Boogie Down Bronx. I would like to first show my deep gratitude to President Van Zandt, Chair Gromek, and the Board of Trustees for this incredible honor. I'd also like to recognize the distinguished platform party and faculty members, and of course, the class of 2019. I'm always humbled to be recognized for my work, especially in my home city. I'm a native New Yorker. Some call me a Bronx nationalist. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge my family that's here, my cousin, and my mom, who is literally and figuratively the reason why I'm here. And I also have to take a moment to recognize my Uncle Neil, who has always believed that I should be here and has waited for years to see me in this moment. Thank you. To the graduates, I won't hold you long, but I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to talk about power and accountability in this political moment. You will hear a number of reasons about how we got here and why an international movement was necessary to bring these issues to the forefront. But if talk about how we got here doesn't include calling out unchecked accumulations of power and a deep dearth of accountability, then they are wrong assessments. Many of you are privileged. The degrees you will be bestowed today add to that privilege. But privilege and power don't have to be evil. But in order for that not to happen, as you rise to positions of power, various kinds of power, make sure that your rise doesn't disempower others. Because one thing I'm clear about is that if your rise to power isn't righteous, the seeds you plant along the way will always bear strange fruit. The best way I have found to keep this from happening is to try to live a truly authentic life. Author and researcher Brené Brown describes authenticity as a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, and the choice to let your true selves be seen. It's up to you to make a decision to be authentic and to use your power and privilege responsibly and be accountable to your family, to your community, and most importantly, to yourself. So I'm asking you today, can you commit to that? Then I can only leave you with these two words: me too.
Kevin Kwan, please come forward. Designer, writer, cultural observer, for you, pursuing a creative life was an act of quiet rebellion. Born into a prominent family in Singapore, you later moved to Texas. After earning a bachelor's degree in creative writing, you came to New York to study design at Parsons. You worked for iconic businesses such as Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, and in 1999 you established your own firm, working for clients such as the New York Times and the Museum of Modern Art. But you remained a storyteller at heart. You wrote stories that were odes to your childhood in Singapore. These stories were dazzling, vivid, and sometimes outlandish. Catching the attention of a publisher, they became a trilogy of novels known as Crazy Rich Asians. The books became international bestsellers and have been translated into more than 30 languages. The film adaptation that soon followed would become the highest grossing romantic comedy in a decade. More significantly, it was the first Hollywood romantic comedy to feature Asian leads. And the first in a quarter of a century to feature a majority Asian cast. The film touched a generation of Asian Americans who had simply never seen themselves represented this way in mainstream movies. Your success serves as an inspiration to countless young people to pursue their creative passions, even when that means defying traditional expectations. For the many ways your work has engaged us, delighted us, and broadened our view of the world, we bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts honoris causa. Congratulations.
Thank you, Provost Marshall, President Van Zandt, the Board of Trustees of the new school, and the class of 2019. It's truly surreal to be standing up here in front of you all. I'm really having this sudden realization that my mom is going to be proud of me for the first time in my life, because I'm finally a doctor. Now, if I could just buy her a new Jaguar SUV, all her dreams will have finally come true, right? Yeah. Secondly, it's surreal to be here because I almost didn't get to come to Parsons at all. In 1995, I was in my first semester of grad school at the University of Houston. I was getting my master's in creative writing when I suddenly realized that I had pretty much nothing left to write about. I'd already written all the poems and stories about heartbreak and teenage angst I could write up that point in my life. And I knew I needed to live, to have adventures, to travel before I could write again. So I decided to enroll in art school, and to my surprise, I got accepted into Parsons right at the beginning of August. Within 2 weeks, I made the decision to leave Houston, and I was attending orientation week at Parsons. The only problem was I had no place to live. All the dorms were full. I had tried looking for an apartment to share somewhere, but it was hard to find someplace back then when you had zero connections. The best I could come up with was a psychologist who had a brownstone in Gramercy Park who would let me sleep on the sofa in her office in exchange for $600 a month, plus babysitting her kids. So I regretfully had to say no thanks. And I went to see Nadine Bourgeois, I don't know if she's still around, the director of admissions, and I told her I had to withdraw because I literally could find no place to live in New York. And she said, let me see what I can do, and by the end of the day, she somehow found me a place at Marlton House. So nowadays, Marlton House on 8th Street has become a very hip and fancy and overpriced Marlton hotel. But back then, it was a new school dorm that was described in the housing brochure as quaint. You know you're in trouble when your dorm is being described as quaint. It was a historic Greenwich Village building, and back then it was truly historic. The rooms hadn't been updated in decades. There were 10 times as many mice as humans. And the building still had many of its original tenants from the days it was an SRO hotel. And they were a really, really colorful bunch indeed. Since there are many parents and university VIPs here today, all I should say is I probably won't miss dodging the needles in the stairways every night. But you know what? I loved staying at Marlton House because it was at the very heart of my Parsons experience. I loved being there. I loved pulling all-nighters with my dorm mates and the camaraderie, the espressos my friend Ryan would make for everyone at 4 a.m. when we were blasting Portishead on the CD player and working in the art studio on projects due the next morning. I was so inspired by all these creative people around me. I had lived in Houston for the past 10 years, and in those 10 years, I had managed to make a total of probably 6 real friends. In my first week going to Parsons, I had made 30 new friends, and most of them are still my best friends today. So, as I told my parents, it's so finally nice to be able to have a conversation with someone and not have to explain who Jean-Paul Gaultier, Charles Eames, or Joan Didion is. Everyone just gets me here. Going to Parsons, I'd finally found my tribe. More importantly, Parsons helped me find my voice as an artist and as a writer. Going there and having the chance to learn from some of the most amazing artists in the world truly blew my mind wide open. I learned how to see, I learned how to think, and I learned how to create in a whole new way. There was no way I could have written Crazy Rich Asians when I was fresh out of college at age 21. I had to move to New York, I had to go to Parsons, go to work, go through the ups and downs of my career, pay my dues, pay my rent, almost give up many times, lose people I love, and almost lose my mind in order to finally write the book I did. So I'm so grateful to Parsons because it finally all began here. To the class of 2019, I wish you all the best of luck. Parsons truly changed my life. I hope it has changed yours, and I hope you will go forth and change the world. Thank you.
Again, congratulations to all our honorary degree holders. Creativity reveals itself in many forms at the New School. To give you just a taste from our College of Performing Arts, I now welcome a special musical performance, Linda Briceño. Linda is from Caracas, Venezuela. She earned her bachelor's degree in jazz and contemporary music, finished just last year, and is now completing her master's degree in arts management and entrepreneurship. In November, she made history by becoming the first woman to win a Latin Grammy. Linda Briceño.
How you guys doing today? I was the first female to win as Producer of the Year. And today, I want to dedicate this performance to God first, to my family, and to all the people of Venezuela, and to all the refugees around the world. And to thank all of you for teaching us so much and for opening the doors for people like me. Thank you. Too much protocol, right? And I'm gonna bring that Latin vibe to all you. Hey, 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 hey. Como no quieres que me queje, si tú no quieres que te deje, dices que cada quien hace lo que quiere, entonces déjame tenerte. Si ves que pierdo la razón, es solo para llamar tu atención. Esto más que amor es una obsesión. Una obsesión que tengo con tus besos. Una obsesión pasando por mi cuerpo. Ganas de morderte me provocan. Una obsesión, yo sé que eso te gusta. Una obsesión, pero también te asusta. Yo tengo más que hacer. Yo quiero seguir obsesionada contigo. No lo sepan, sabe que soy yo, sabe que me tienes, hagamos una apuesta, cuidado y no soy yo la que después no te contesta. Yo sé que esta relación es rara, los problemas aquí nunca fallan, pero cualquier inconveniente lo arreglamos en la cama. Una obsesión que tengo con tus besos, obsesión pasando por mi cuerpo, ganas de morderte me provoca. No tengo más que hacer, yo quiero seguir obsesionada contigo.
Linda Brasenia, thank you. That was great. Now, I will introduce our student speaker. First, I want to acknowledge each of the two finalists for this speech. Aneta Makuka and Sofia Garcia. The class of 2019's commencement speaker is Ta Kasityavardi. Ta will graduate with a BFA in Communication Design from Parsons School of Design. Originally from Thailand, Ta has lived in Canada, China, and the United States. During his time at the New School, he has been a resident advisor, a student advocate, and meditation guide. In 2018, he was honored with a Student Leadership Award for Outstanding International Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, Takasidi Pardit.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay, this moment right here, it's so iconic that I think we should take a selfie. Okay, this is a 360-degree selfie camera. So I need you all right here to just smile for me. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. We did that. Okay. Okay. Now let's get on with the speech, shall we? To the faculty, honorary degree recipients, staff, parents, mom, dad, aunt, suiting, my Canadian family somewhere, friends, and of course, the class of 2019, good afternoon. To the Thai brothers and sisters in the audience here today, Sawadee Krap. It is truly an honor. I would like to say a special thank you to my peers for allowing me to represent and be the voice of your class, to celebrate all the times that we have smiled, laughed, and wait for it, broken down at 3 a.m. right before our thesis class, because that is a creative process. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have rushed and hustled through my new school experiences, trying to get through to life's next big thing. Most of us won't be graduating again anytime soon, so I really want to make sure that all of us right here really take this whole moment in, take all of this in. I'd like to invite everybody on a brief guided meditation. Yes, you heard me right. Let's make some silence. Okay. To begin, take a moment to allow your body to settle into a comfortable position. Please gently close your eyes. Notice if you trust yourself enough to be vulnerable and have your eyes closed in this stadium. Or maybe you're peeking to see if your friends are doing it too, so you're not alone. I see you, Dinah. Who knew closing our eye could feel this communal? Wherever you are in your breathing, please breathe out through your mouth and breathe in through your nose and exhales it all out. In and out. With your eyes still closed, take a moment to notice your preconceived ideas of graduation. Let her go. Can you feel your skin under your gown? Can you feel the energy from the people around you? Do you like who you are now? I think as creatives, we know full well of our need to be as friendly with silence as with our own craft. Now, that doesn't mean that it's supposed to be comfortable. You may open your eyes, and thank you for that. Students in Thailand are asked to meditate before a class every day. It's something that I was never good at, despite the fact that the session is quite short. Oftentimes, I'm always so distracted by the suffocating heat and how my glasses would keep falling off my nose. Now, in grade 4, I asked a boy, and of course it was a boy, how he could sit so still. He looked up and opened one eye and replied, "It's good that you acknowledge the heat, Ta, but if you sit still enough, you might just be able to feel the gentle breeze too." At that moment, I was like, okay. It began to strike me that my education that we all have at the new school has always been a kind of discomfort. I like to think of it as a place where all of us are in a constant state of questioning, like a ritual. Rather than to search for certainty, most of the time we question things as a way to explore, as a way to learn. On the first day of my writing and meditation class I took last year, I remember the professor inviting the class to meditate together. Now, I also remembered feeling so uncomfortable that I had to excuse myself, cancel. Being Thai, I think Buddhism wasn't something I personally chose. It was too deeply ingrained in our cultural values. Though I've now grown to love it, I've always took it for granted. The truth is, it made me feel so insecure when my professor, who did not come from the same background as me, was teaching me about my culture. In my head, I couldn't stop thinking about how, if I don't know best, am I even a real Thai? Have I let my family down for not educating myself when I was back home? Something about this semester kept telling me to go back into the class, so I enrolled in it again. Shokyam Rinpoche writes that meditation is acceptance of being a fool. I think that's how I view being in new school too. That class has helped me acknowledge my self-deceptions and the convenient myths I tell myself about my identity. Throughout our 4 years of college, I think we have grown to accept that at times, the new school, and us included, can be a little pretentious. That maybe our field of study might not be as romantic as we like to think, because we all know that it sure takes a lot of time, labor, and a hell of a lot of discipline to actually make our dreams into a reality. As soon as we acknowledge that heat, I think that's when we get things done. The new school community is where everyone is so unapologetically themselves. I think it's because we all recognize that we must live our best and truest lives, not just for our own sake, but for so many people around the world who couldn't be themselves safely. When we are represented, thank you. And I think we all know that feeling when someone truly understands, be it in movies, in rom-coms, and books. We are empowered to thrive and be our best self, that there's gentle breeze in this heat too. Right now, as we are graduating, we have the tools, the vocabulary, and the means to make those kind of spaces for each other. We recognize that culture is in a space that can only be nurtured by diversity and empathy. We're not naive enough to wait for change. That's so yesterday, because we recognize each other, and especially ourselves, as modes of change. Okay, it's almost done. Today, we find ourselves surrounded by loved ones and people who have nurtured us. This is where ending and beginning converge. The road to our dreams will probably be uncomfortable here and there, so please never forget about the blessings you have received, the friends you've made along the way. Do not forget to call your family to check in, and to stop once in a while to make space, create silence, and to allow yourself to feel the gentle breeze on your skin. Congratulations, class of 2019, we did it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. That was great. The moment has arrived when we celebrate graduates through our conferral of degrees. I will ask the university deans to present their candidates. The Doctor of Philosophy is the highest degree conferred at the university. Today, we present those students individually who have attained this degree. Immediately following the presentation of the PhDs, we will move on to the conferral of the master's and bachelor's degrees. To begin the presentation of the doctoral candidates, will Executive Dean Mary Watson please come forward?
Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy at the Schools of Public Engagement. Before I recognize the candidates today, I want to make a special acknowledgement of the late Elizabeth Levi. Elizabeth was awarded the Doctor of Philosophy in Public and Urban Policy posthumously, and Elizabeth's family was here to accept the degree on her behalf yesterday. We are so pleased to have this opportunity to recognize Elizabeth's achievements here today, and our thoughts are with her family and other loved ones. So now I ask the PhD student candidates to rise and approach the platform. Nope. Vanessa Leone, Doctor of Philosophy, Public and Urban Policy. Mamotsa Makene, Doctor of Philosophy, Public and Urban Policy. And I now ask my colleague, Will Milberg, the Dean of the School, New School for Social Research, to please come to the podium for the next portion. Will?
Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy at the New School for Social Research. I'd like to ask the candidates to rise and approach the platform. Maria Angela Paralancourt, Doctor of Philosophy and Economics. I thought I'd get to read Okay. Juniper Audrey Alcorn, Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy. Congratulations. Good for you. Dion Frederick Gibson, Doctor of Philosophy and Economics. Good job. Who did you work with? Good job. Congratulations. Christopher Guy Cruz, Doctor of Philosophy and Politics. Good job. Thanks. You did it. Got it. Sarah Kate Estrove, Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology. Congratulations, Sarah Kate. Good for you. You came up at the right time, too. Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for master degree in the New School for Social Research. Will all of the NSSR master's degree candidates please rise? This esteemed group includes candidates for Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Philosophy in the following fields: anthropology, cognitive and social and developmental psychology, creative publishing and critical journalism, economics, global political economy and finance, historical studies, liberal studies, philosophy, politics, psychology, and sociology. Congratulations to the NSSR class of 2019. I now ask, thank you, congratulations, Mary Watson, Dean Watson, to please return to the podium. There you are.
Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for the master's and bachelor's degrees in the Schools of Public Engagement. I will begin with the candidates for graduate degrees. Will the candidates for Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages please rise? Please be seated. I know, it was too quick, wasn't it? I'll go more slowly. Will the candidates for Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing please rise? Please be seated. Will the candidates from the School of Media Studies please rise? This impressive group includes the candidates for the Master of Arts in Media Studies and the Master of Science in Media Management. Please be seated. Will the candidates from the Milano School of Policy, Management, and the Environment please rise? These fine students are the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Environmental Policy and Sustainability Management, Nonprofit Management, Organization Change Management, Public and Urban Policy, and Urban Policy Analysis and Management. Please be seated. Will the candidates from the Julian J. Studley Graduate Program in International Affairs please rise? These fine students are the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science in International Affairs. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in adult and transfer students please rise? These fine students are candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science degree, with majors in creative writing, environmental studies, food studies, liberal arts, global studies, media studies, musical theater, psychology, and urban studies. Please be seated. And now I introduce my colleague Richard Kessler, Dean of College Performing Arts, to come to the podium. Richard.
Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for degrees and diplomas for the College of Performing Arts. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Arts Management and Entrepreneurship, the inaugural graduating class, please rise? Please be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Music at the Mannes School of Music please rise? These musicians include majors in collaborative piano, composition, guitar, orchestral instruments, orchestral conducting, piano, theory, and voice. Please be seated. I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts in the School of Drama. Will all of the master's candidates please rise? This includes our amazing candidates for degrees in acting, directing, and playwriting. Please be seated. Will the Mannes candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Music please rise? These graduates include majors in composition, guitar, orchestral instruments, piano, and voice. Please be seated. Will the Mannes candidates for the Professional Studies Diploma please rise? Please be seated. Will the Mannes candidates for the Extension Diploma please rise? Please be seated. I now have the honor to present those very talented and swinging candidates for the bachelor degrees in the School of Jazz. Will all of the candidates please rise? This includes our candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. Please be seated. And I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts in the School of Drama. Will all of the bachelor candidates please rise? Please be seated, and congratulations. I would now like to ask my colleague and friend Stephanie Browner, Dean of Eugene Lang College of Liberal Arts, to join me at the podium. We have the honor of presenting together the BFA, the BAFA students who have completed the dual degree of Bachelor of Arts from Lang College and Bachelor of Fine Arts from Jazz.
Will the Lang Jazz BFA BA students please rise? Mr. President and Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the fiercely courageous, creative, critical thinking candidates for degrees in Eugene Lang College of Liberal Arts. Will all of the candidates please rise? These students are earning degrees in anthropology, contemporary dance, contemporary music, culture and media, economics, environmental studies, global studies, history, interdisciplinary science, journalism and design, liberal arts, literary studies, philosophy, politics, psychology, screen studies, sociology, the arts, theater, and urban studies. Congratulations. Please be seated. I now ask my friend and colleague, Joel Towers, Executive Dean of Parsons School of Design, to please come forward. We have the honor to present the BAFA students who have completed the dual degree, a Bachelor of Fine Arts at Parsons School of Design and the Bachelor of Arts from Eugene Lang College. Will the Lang Parsons BAFA students please rise?
Please be seated. Mr. President, Mr. Provost, I have the honor to present the candidates for degrees in Parsons School of Design. I will begin with the Parsons Master's Degree candidates. Will all of the Parsons Master's Degree candidates please rise and remain standing? This extraordinary group includes candidates for the Master of Architecture, as well as candidates for the Master of Arts in Design Studies, Fashion Studies, the History of Design and Curatorial Studies, and Theories of Urban Practice. It also includes our candidates for the Master of Fine Arts in Design and Technology, Fashion Design and Society, Fine Arts, Industrial Design, Interior Design, those with a double major in Interior Design and Lighting Design, Photography, and Transdisciplinary Design. Also standing are candidates for the Master of Science in Data Visualization, Design and Urban Ecologies, and Strategic Design and Management. Standing too are the Master of Architecture and the Master of Fine Arts in Lighting Design, and the candidates for the Master of Professional Studies in Communication Design. Please be seated. I will now recognize the candidates for the degree of the Associate in Applied Science. Will all of the candidates for the AAS degrees please rise and remain standing? These trailblazers include our candidates for the AAS degrees with majors in fashion design, fashion marketing, graphic design, and interior design. Please be seated. Finally, I will now recognize the Parsons candidates for bachelor's degrees. Will all of the candidates please rise and remain standing? This subdued group includes candidates for Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science, including majors in Architectural Design, Communication Design, Design and Technology. This one's for you, Connor. Fashion Design. Fine Arts. Illustration. Integrated Design. Interior Design. Photography. Product Design. Strategic Design and Management, and Urban Design. Thank you all. Please be seated. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dean Towers. I now ask Provost Marshall to come forward to present the candidates for the conferral of degrees.
Mr. President, we've presented to you the candidates for degrees in all of the programs of the new school. They've been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I now ask that you, by your official act, confer upon them their degrees. Now, will all the degree candidates please rise again?
Okay, let's make it official. By the authority vested in me by the Regents of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the new school, I now confer upon you the degrees as designated by your deans and admit you to all the rights and responsibilities they represent. Congratulations, class of 2019. Our ceremony now comes to a close and the party begins. Please stay for a while to celebrate outdoors at our Commencement Festival. We have a DJ, food, and plenty of photo opportunities. Please remain at your places until the platform party has recessed from the stage. You may then exit the stadium and we'll see you outside. Thank you again for being part of our commencement exercises and centennial celebration.